let's start there. I think you named it and you titled this portion as Heartless. Is that where you want to start?
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna bring up the fucking lineup real quick because I think that needs to be addressed. We had our captain, Bernardo Silva,
Mm-hmm.
on the pitch. We had Phil Foden, hometown boy, on the pitch. We had Holland on the pitch, Max Elaine, Rico Lewis, and Rodri, who's supposed to be one of our heart guys. I didn't see any fight from the team, and I think that was the biggest thing in the derby. I've heard Pep talk about it. People want to talk about that red card. I don't give a fuck, honestly, whether it was a red or not. We can debate it all day. It's just the refs suck, and this is why I don't complain about the refs. It's just consistent bullshit all the time. But Pep did say 10 men, 11 men. He doesn't think we would have won that game. It doesn't matter. They were fucking heartless, and that's the only way to put it. I think shameful is another way you could put it. To walk into that and not die for the badge is just it was hard to watch, hard to swallow afterwards. I don't know. And I know Cherokee had the quote, "I'm gonna kill them," and he came on. He does that stupid fucking free kick to give away the first goal. And I've seen some content creators for City talk about that and how it's just stupid and how he's just shouldn't be doing the fancy flicks in that situation. I think he's just frustrated though. Like he had the mentality. He's one of those guys that wanted to die for the badge and he has to come on in the 45th minute over a Bernardo Silva or a Phil Foden who wasn't playing good. And I think he's frustrated. We just didn't create anything. So when he comes on, he starts giving the ball away carelessly, trying to create something out of nothing. I don't think that's him being an idiot of a player. I think that's him trying to do something for the club, no matter what, just trying to make something out of nothing. Because United's defense were flawless, in my opinion. The shape was great. You beat one guy, there was another guy there to make up for him, to cover his back. They looked like a full fucking unit. And I can't say the same for my team. I think there was one turn that's spreading on social media right now. It's the Manu turn, where you just see him blow Semenyo out the water. Like that's fine. It's a little highlight for him, and he looks silly. But I think if you look at it further, you zoom it out a little more. He beats Semenyo, and then they're gone. It was one pass to beat us, and I think that was the story for the whole game. So it was the half-ass press up front that allowed them to break out and then just give the ball to one of their midfielders of Menu or Bruno and then fire into a weak defense for City. I think I don't think our experienced players defended the defense enough because they know it's inexperience. And then I don't know. For Heartless, I think the last thing I got, it's not Heartless, but maybe he just needs to hang up the boots, is that okay, cannot play. His legs are gone. And the only thing that I thought was heartless about his game was towards the end, where United are about to make it 3-0, and he can get there. He can lay out Diallo while we're down 2-0 in a derby, and he kind of just slows down his run, allows them to keep moving forward. I don't know. I think he would have gotten to it on fresher legs a couple years ago, but also I feel like there's got to be more fire there, and it's missing. And I think that's one of the biggest things we're missing from a Diaz and Gavardio being gone is that fire to win these types of games.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good way of putting it. Is especially in recent derbies, it felt like United wasn't there, and this time it felt like City wasn't there completely. And for whatever the reasons were, tired legs or inexperienced, the two best players for City were Kusanov and Donnarumma. I thought, like you said, the guys that you were expecting to be there and take the step for City, which would have been your Hollands, your Rodris, your Fodens, and your Silvas, they just were maybe not Rodri as much, but the three of those, the core three, the guys that have been
I
in this
thought
spot before,
all those names you named were not very good
not
on the
great.
day, and you could have
They,
taken them all out at halftime.
Yeah.
if we
I
had
was really
options.
I don't know. This has been, I mean, obviously there was all the stuff with Lissandro Martinez this week, but Holland in particular, just the last
He's
like maybe
gassed.
the last three performances, it just feels like he's not having a good time out there. And whether that's the influx of new guys or just like this stylistic changes, like he's not being put in adaptation like positions for himself. And I
I
actually
think
want
he's
to
just
stick on the
gassed.
Cherokee point too after because I think
Yeah.
that's really interesting. The,
In terms of Holland, though, I
yeah.
genuinely think he just doesn't have any legs under him at the moment, so he can't get himself in those positions. And
You think
then,
he's just like battling a
like,
fitness thing?
just not even fitness, but more so just like tired. He's fatigued. Look at his shooting. His shooting is half-assed. It's sloppy. It's slow. No power behind it. And like occasionally he'll get one off that, but that's some of these he'd be burying with like
Yeah.
ferociousness. And he's just not right now. And like we can't really do anything about it until Marmoush gets back. But he does need a little bit of a break.
It kind of feels like a microcosm of just the entire front portion of the season where we always talk about you can't win the league in the first portions, but you can absolutely lose it.
Hmm.
And look, I honestly, and we can talk about it a little later with Arsenal, if there was a side that had a spine and like could just rip it out of the other team's spines, this race could be over. And you guys have been luckily because Arsenal has been so tame over the last month in terms of not picking up all 3 points. You get away with it a little bit, but this feels like you guys are running out of steam, which usually doesn't happen at this period, but you've had to do so much makeup because of just the poor start. Where a guy like Holland, who literally was carrying the team for 3.5 months, has now, once this kind of goes back to the like, is he doing too much? Now it's starting to catch up to him. And maybe you're right. It's just a game out the side or a chance for him to just get on the training pitch and not have to focus on being the main focal point every single time. Not sure
I
though.
mean, it's that, and also the fact if you just focus solely on Holland in the last 4 games, the guy is not playing footy out there. He's trying to fucking fight for his life, and the refs don't do anything about it. I think Pep talked about he's the only striker ever that has fouled center backs more than center backs have fouled him, which is ridiculous because he's getting fouled every game, multiple times a game. So him getting a different whistle is definitely part of it. Parts during the freaking Brighton game, he wasn't even playing footy. He wasn't even focused on the ball. He's fucking WWE with Van Hecke, and they're allowing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's frustrated right now, and we do need to have a little bit of options in that position. So hopefully Marmoush can come back and bring some of that, give him some rest, and just like looking at the game, we couldn't build anything to get to him. We needed a someone to come get the ball deep and bring out a defender or something, and that's just not his game. So the versatility is definitely needed. We've had it in other seasons. We don't have it at the moment because of AFCON. But yeah, and I think Ait Nori at the left wing certainly was an interesting call at the end of the game, but I don't hate it.
Yeah. Holland reminds me of a LeBron and Shaq in the sense of like because they're so good, they get fouled every single play, and like if you were to call it every single time, there wouldn't be a game. You know what I mean? Like they're that style of player where it's just like,
It's just not his problem at the end of the day also. Like if
but
he's
that's
getting
that's how
fouled, they
sports
gotta
work though.
call it. I know,
They won't
but
though. That's how just
it's a
how that's
striker.
this is literally the LeBron and Shaq problem. Like if you called a foul every single time, you'd never
But
there wouldn't be a
that's
game
fine.
being
That's
played.
fine, but you can't call it against him. Like
No, I
they're
agree with
actually
that too.
hindering him. They're
I agree
hindering
with
one of
that.
the best strikers of all time at this point in a physical league. Like fuck off. I don't want to hear it to be honest, because they're taking away one of his best attributes in a so-called physical league. So I don't understand. If they're allowed to do it to him, he should be allowed to do it
No,
back. And the fact that he's fouling center backs more than center backs are fouling him is a joke.
I don't
That's
disagree
a
with that
refereeing
sentiment.
decision. Um,
I do. I
but
want
yeah,
to. I want to
we can
ask
go back to
Grant
Cherokee.
this. Yeah,
No,
because everything that you were saying there reminded me of maybe like 50 times that I've had to defend Bruno Fernandez. Like that exact sentiment that you just
it was
stated was
like
like,
if Bruno fucking got benched though. That's what pisses me off.
well, no, Bruno is a different case in terms of like his age and his profile and being a captain. But I've said that sentiment and how fans feel about Bruno in terms of that style of player Grant, like, do you kind of see that too? Like, are you in that camp of like this player is just a maverick and people need to learn what that entails, or
Well, I mean, we talked about it early on in the season. Like we know exactly what Cherokee can add, and I don't think we jumped the gun on it. Like he was able to come in and help control a game when they were up one and see it out. Like they know exactly what his qualities are. I mean, like Mila was saying, like they were just lacking intangibles in that game. The heart. It's a derby, like you said before the game, Dylan. The only way they'd win is you throw form out the window and like you go beat them, right? Like it's a derby. So I really think that's what it comes down to, especially to come on at halftime into that situation. Like obviously he's gonna get clowned, but like that's the modern era. Like
yeah, yeah,
that's social media.
it is
Like I
modern.
mean, look at Harry Maguire for like 2 years, right? I mean, that's really just what it is. But yeah, I don't really think Cherokee's anywhere near part of the problem. I mean, just look at the back line. Like I, you're missing your entire back line. It's a completely different back line than the one that's been good this year for City. So I mean, yeah, it's not that serious for me in terms of like where the problems, what's going on. Like I think it's right there. You're trying to address it, but at the end of the day, it's like a pit stop in like a NASCAR race. It's not something you're really expecting to do. Like, can they do that? That's really the question. But thankfully, competition's not really at top speed. So
I feel like we all share the same sentiment that in this particular match, we would have rather have all had 11 Cherokees compared to like 11 Fodens on the day. You know what I mean? Like a player that is constantly trying to give you everything. And even if that's doing too much, me personally, I just would much rather have those style of footballers. I could care less about the recycleness or I'm just not, my game's not going, so I'm just going to try something different. I'm going to play the ball a little different here. I'd much rather Cherokee, if I was a City fan, spam as many of those crosses where it just didn't work out. You know what? City had 0 shots on target in the second half of that
I
match.
think
So it
that's part of
changed
the
nothing.
issue, though. I think this idea of Foden or Cherokee is part of the issue. It's so
Like
silly.
they
They're
should be
two of our
together.
fucking best players. And one of them has clearly showed that he's more of a progressive build-up guy rather than the creator, and one of them is the creator. So why don't you pair the guy that can build up and bring the ball to the creator with the best striker in the fucking world? Like it just doesn't make sense to me, and this is where I question Pep a little bit. Is like look at what we have, and then like we brought in Semenyo too, who can track back a little bit. So if the plan is to do some weird formation where we need to make that happen, then make it happen. Um, a lot of this is the lack of six depth, I think, too, though. It just affects our team, and you've been seeing that for a year and a half. We didn't have Rodri last season. Rodri's now coming back. No Nico G. He's been missing for a month. Um, no Kovacic even to fill in at that position.
he's been
We
gone.
usually have 1-6 for the past 2 years. Um,
Mhm.
and it's hindering us for sure. And I don't know. I didn't even bring up Elaine really, but I thought him going out before Ake was a bit of a joke. I know Ake has more experience, but I I, I think people were giving him too much shit for his mistakes. I think he had like 2 mistakes, and both of them were Ake related on his positioning on the touchline. He's also Elaine's mentor, so like that was unacceptable to me. That was just making Elaine take the blame for Ake's incapabilities on the day, and I didn't like that. But I think we can pivot into Gehi after that because Elaine's
Yeah,
probably not going to see the
honestly, I
pitch
thought Pep
much
was doing
anymore.
that to protect Elaine because it wasn't that.
Yeah.
Look, Ake. If anybody watched that with two
We
eyes,
were
like
nil
Ake was
nil.
awful. Yeah,
It
but
was nil
like
nil,
it
bro.
was
And
that
then you're
wasn't a
putting you're
clean
putting the
nil
guy
nil
that's getting
attack.
skinned alive on the outside, and then you're gonna put him inside the heart of the defense. Like it makes zero fucking sense to me. Zero sense. The guy's grabbing his
Maybe just
hamstrings.
Yeah,
this
the
It's
is maybe
protecting him is
for
where
the
just the devil's
game.
advocate, but yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
fucking
I don't know if
Jesus
I necessarily
Christ.
agree with this sub either, but also I don't know if that would have changed anything because that was one way traffic from that point on. So
I think Ainori would have
you know what I mean? Like, I
fucking
don't know.
given us something
I
on
mean, yeah, I
Diallo,
mean,
honestly. Not maybe like why the fuck didn't he play? I get Nico
maybe.
O'Reilly's gassed, but why did Ainori not play? It's not like he's not fit.
Yeah,
He's been
I don't know.
playing for Algeria. Like I don't know. So many questions.
Maybe it's just because he hasn't been with the team. I try not to question Pep anymore. Every time I question
He
Pep, he
looks
ends
like
up
he knows our
fixing
team
it. So
better than anyone right now.